Saturday, and we started off in the capital of Wisconsin, Madison, where the Badgers, the 11th ranked team in the nation, hosting the Oregon Ducks in front of a sellout crowd at the Kohl Center. And right now, this Badgers team is surging. They are 11-4 in Big Ten play, and they are very much in play for a potential Big Ten regular season crown. Meanwhile, Oregon, they've been hot. They've won 3 in a row, 8-8 in conference action. Welcome courtside at the Kohl Center, everybody. He's LaFonso Ellis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And, Fonz, we are 1 week away from that fabulous month of March. And this is a good matchup. I mentioned Wisconsin. They are truly in play for a Big Ten title, and Oregon is playing much better. Yeah, and that's what's so important about this game for Wisconsin. Only a game and a half out. No one was talking about the Wisconsin Badgers early, but they put themselves in a great situation. And going into the Big Ten tournament, those double buys are important. It's a big game today for the Badgers. And the Badgers, that offense has been explosive. It's not your historic Wisconsin team that you think of that's slow-moving, and et cetera, et cetera. No, this team gets up and down. 5-0 in the month of February, almost 83 points a game. Look at those three-pointers as well. And it's really led by John Tonje, who is our steady performer, sponsored by PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. Yeah, the Missouri transfer by way of Colorado State has been absolutely balling since 0 points against USC. 25 points a game, shooting 46% from three. His ability to get in the lane and make plays today is going to be important for the Badgers. So he is the head of the snake for Greg Gard's team. Yes. Oregon has a number of guys that can hurt you, but Nate Biddle in the middle is really the centerpiece for that offense. Yeah, he's been injured over the last 2 years, and he's finally coming into shape, and he's been really good over the last 3 games. 17 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 blocks. He's been balling. He's got to stay out of foul trouble today because they're a different team with him out of the lineup. This one is going to be fantastic. Up and down, a lot of fun today to get your Fox College Hoops Saturday started. The Badgers, the Ducks, next. The Kohl Center, an incredible home court advantage. Wisconsin 13-1 here this season, 21-5 overall. And today, their first ever Big Ten meeting against the Ducks of Oregon. Here are the starting lineups, powered by Ram Trucks. Built to serve. We mentioned Biddle for Oregon. We mentioned Tonje for Wisconsin. Don't forget about Jackson Shellstad, who can really fill it up for the Ducks. Crowell and Winter, 2 7-footers for Wisconsin. Yeah, Jackson Shellstad, after scoring 0 points in a loss to UCLA, 22 points a game, shooting 46 for 3 over the next 5, but only 3 points, no field goals in their last game against Iowa. He's got to be big this afternoon. 16,838 on their feet, dressed in red and white, ready to go. Biddle, Crowell at center court. And off we go with a little false start, but Wisconsin controls it. And folks, both teams are going to set a ton of ball screens, so each of their ability to be able to play really well against ball screens is going to be important today. Badgers 11th ranked in the country, one of the hottest teams in the nation, 5-0 this month. They go into Crowell, the veteran, the 5th-year senior, and he gets the first bucket. The poise and patience from Stephen Crowell, and that's one of those ball screens that we were talking about, empty side to a post. You're going to see that a ton today. Meanwhile, Oregon winners of 3 straight. Bamba lines up a triple, and a rebound to Klesmit. Didn't like that shot. You want to set an aggressive tone early by either driving it or kicking that basketball to the post. Here's the other 7-footer, the sophomore Nolan Winter. How about that footwork from the big fella? Early, Wisconsin taking advantage of their size on the interior. That's a 6'11" sophomore playing against a 6'8" Brandon Angel. Mismatch all day long. This Oregon team, they've been out in the Midwest for a few days. Got a 2-point win Wednesday in Iowa. Came up here on Thursday to Madison. Biddle, this is their go-to guy, and he knocks it down. Nathan Biddle at 7 feet tall can really stretch the defense. Only 32% on the year, but 39% from 3 in Big Ten play. He's been balling. Think about it, Fonz. We got 3 7-footers on the court right now who can step out and shoot the 3. That's crazy. Here's another one. Crowell misses. Offensive rebound, though. Tanjay. No.
It's a really good late challenge by Bamba. The team that wins the rebound battle today is going to be victorious with all the size that both of these teams have, especially with Wisconsin with nearly 2 7-footers on the front line. Oregon's going to have to really rebound the ball.
So Biddle hit a 3, and there is the other leading scorer for the Ducks, Jackson Shellstad.
Yeah, 39% from 3 on the year, but 46 in Big Ten play. He's been stroking it from 3.
But he did not have a single field goal at Iowa, so Dana Altman said wanted to get him going early. That's a good sign for Oregon.
Indeed, 0 for 7 from the field.
Crowell, two-handed flush.
It's another one of those single-side ball screens, or empty-side ball screens that we spoke of earlier. That's been really good for Wisconsin.
Good action early, 6-all. Biddle trying to get to his spot. Is there a whistle? There is. Offensive.
And folks, Wisconsin's done a terrific job of getting that basketball inside early to their bigs, and both of those guys using their height to be able to score over the top. And then Nate Biddle, one of the 3 7-footers in this game who can knock down the 3, and then Shellstad steps up and knocks down a huge one as well. So with their being able to make 3-point shots early for Oregon, that should open up some space for them to be able to dribble, drive, and attack the paint. Can't rely on the 3 all afternoon long.
Crowell gets it near the low block. Got the size advantage here. Double comes. Winter, right down Broadway. Crowell cleans it up.
So far, the inside's being dominated by Wisconsin on the offensive glass and in the post.
And you noted it. That's really going to be something to watch. If Oregon wants to compete in this game, they got to keep a presence inside. Yes. Dana Altman said that. That's one thing, and that's why Nate Biddle being out there is so vital. He's on the bench right now. Klesmit, sharpshooter, a little long.
You cannot let any of the guards from Wisconsin turn down or reject that ball screen. Got to make them use it. Oregon was lucky there.
John Blackwell splits the defenders, and he will get to the stripe. Well, Nolan Winter and Stephen Crowell, those 2 7-footers for Wisconsin. Crowell was in particular spectacular last time out in their win. But look at them both, almost 10 a game. And when they both get going, this team is hard to stop.
Yeah, they play so well together. Stephen Crowell is such a great passer. Nolan Winter, a good cutter. They were able to connect a couple times when we had their game against Illinois here on Tuesday. And when they can get on that glass, and they're both being aggressive on the offensive end, it brings great balance to their inside-outside attack.
And you can't forget about this guy, number 25, John Blackwell, talented sophomore, was on the all-freshman team last year, now scoring over 15 a game as a sophomore.
Yeah, had 16 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals in their Tuesday game against Illinois. And I love when this guy, number 4 in white, Kamar McGee, comes into the game, man. His ability to be able to get up and into you and under you defensively makes a huge difference in this game.
TJ Bamba gives it up.
Let's see with Supreme Cook, number 7 in black, in this game. See if they can get something going on the inside.
Well, Bamba, he can get downhill, but he's cut off. And watch that shot clock here. Shellstad drives and blows by McGee.
Able to create a little double gap to the right-hand side. Shellstad recognized it and attacked it quickly. Good recognition there by number 3 in black.
And that was the first 2-point attempt today for Oregon. And now look at Shellstad getting on the deck. Aggressive on both ends. And a tie-up will send it the way of Oregon when we get back.
Stephen Crowell being aggressive here early. A little pick and roll, empty side, able to take it to the front of the rim and send it home. We got a good one here, folks.
Fox College Hoops is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. The 2000 Wisconsin Badgers who went to the Final Four under legendary coach Dick Bennett, honored before the game. Good to see those guys back here. They got a well-deserved standing ovation. And then Wisconsin would go to Final Fours in 2014 and 15. But this year, the offense is pretty historic. 82 points a game. That's third in school history. 15 games of 80 or more, the most since the 70s. And how about the three-pointers? They got a number of guys who can fill it up.
Yeah, and 11 made threes in Big Ten play. And when you have 9 guys who can shoot it from the three-point line, it opens up so many things. Dribble penetration, post. Coach Bennett is going, wait a minute, this offense doesn't look familiar to me. Where's that mover blocker scoring in the 50s?
And they put up 94 at Mac 2 games ago, over 90 here in the win against Illinois. I mean, they have been on fire.
They have.
Meanwhile, Jadrian Tracy getting on the board, the senior from Fort Myers.
Yeah, and I like it because they were becoming a little bit too reliant on the three ball. They've got to be able to post it and be able to drive it. Nice recognition there by Jadrian Tracy.
Well, all in all, I would say good job by Oregon, though, to withstand the early 5-minute blow, because this place can be daunting.
Good D by T.J. Bamba.
Lining up a three, Blackwell. Gilmore, what a play. He threw that off of Bamba. That's the former walk-on turned scholarship player, Carter Gilmore.
That's what Carter Gilmore does. He brings great hustle to the basketball game along with his three-point prowess. Shoots 52% from three in Big Ten play.
And Dana Altman, 15th season, looking for another 20-win campaign. His team at 19-8.
4 Pac-12 20 championships, 3 regular season championships. He's been an excellent coach everywhere he's been.
Yeah, no question. And how about Carter Gilmore? He's making his presence felt.
Kwame Evans Jr., number 10 Black, got on his high side, and that's a really good job. You never, as a defensive player, want the offense to be able to feel you. He did there and spun right off of it. Pretty play.
In the lane, Kwame Evans able to draw the foul on Wisconsin. Well, Dana Altman, the veteran, such a great career. Don't forget about Greg Gard. Yesterday, named one of the 15 finalists on the Coach of the Year watch list, and I would say, Fonz, that is very well deserved.
There's no question about it. I mean, no one was talking about these Wisconsin Badgers early in the year, what they've been able to accomplish. I think they're 16, I believe, in the net as far as the NCAA tournament is concerned. Offense, defense, they've been exceptional. 2 Big Ten regular season titles in 20 and 22.
When you said it, they've got a chance with Michigan losing last night. They're only 1 game back in the loss column to both them and the Spartans.
Absolutely.
Janicki, good pass. What a rejection by Evans.
That's what he gives them off the bench. A lot of energy. Mismatch down here low.
Yeah, Cook realized it, and McGee draws the foul.
Evans is really finding his way. The lefty sophomore does a really nice job of coming off of the weak side of the floor and being able to meet you at the summit. The awareness defensively is where he's grown so much because he's a pogo stick off the floor.
This time he couldn't handle that pass, but wait. Kamari McGee just picked up another foul. That's 2 fouls in 10 seconds against McGee, and that's a big whistle right there.
Because, and part of it is because how he impacts their defense. He's able to get up and in and be aggressive, and he's a disruptor defensively, so they'll miss his presence out there. And he's a true point guard, something that Wisconsin doesn't have outside of himself.
So mark that foul down with still almost 14 remaining in the first half. Not that time. A rebound to Crowd. Klesman, what a pass, but Gilmore could not handle it.
I was thinking about the Badgers from Tuesday and how they're playing with such great pace and pushing, and I would have thought that was an oxymoron in the past. Not so anymore.
And that offense so efficient. 6th rated in the country offensively. Flying through, Blackwell brings it the other way.
They're starting to get pretty good deep dribble penetration. They've got to keep it up.
That offense, though, it has really been a three-year progression. And Greg Gard has talked about this. They intentionally wanted to get more offensive-minded, and they've stair-stepped each year. And now, as we said, one of the best in the country at it.
Yeah, Greg wanted to really open up the floor and high three-point shooting ability to be able to get to the basket, and it would help with a lot of things, even recruiting, because a lot of guys want to play this style. Just wanted to modernize it, and he's done an exceptional job of building it.
Really has, for a program that was always known for a slower pace. Yeah, he can fill it up, but he's been a little off as of late. Raheem Moss in the game, number 0 for Oregon, gives it up to Shellstad. Biddle, catch and shoot. Short. It's Evans again. He's been all over the court here early. Blocked out of bounds there by Amos. But Evans, and Dana Altman talked about it. He's been giving them some good minutes the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, his minutes have been up and down all season long, but that's what's allowing him to be able to play. He's coming in playing tremendous defense, the hustle, the grit, the toughness that he brings to that front line of Oregon. And to your point, he's played really well. 4 of 6 from 3 over the last 4 games. 8 points as well in 17 minutes.
Another option for Dana Altman as we get later in the season. Tracy. Evans in the lane, spins, right hand, pretty.
Really coming into his own offensively.
Sophomore from Baltimore. He was a highly touted recruit out of high school. Blackwell, nice move to the rim.
Blackwell, such a bully guard. If you don't make him use the ball screen or the exchange and you allow him to reject it and get to the baseline, you can forget it. Biddle wants it in the post.
They whip it around the other way to Moss. Biddle screens. Moss across the court. There's Tracy. Yes.
That's really good offense, and that started with Nate Biddle setting that ball screen, slipping out of it, and it opened up the entire left side of the floor. Good recognition by Oregon.
Ducks back on top by a penny. Media timeout at the next whistle. Janicki passes out to Klesman. On the penetration, Amos lost his shoe, or no, it was actually an Oregon Duck. And Moss who lost the shoe, and that takes us to immediate timeout.
Yeah, Oregon getting it done right now, inside and outside, able to get to the painted area. Kwame Evans Jr. able to use his length to shoot that hook shot over the top. Good ball movement and knock down a 3. Oregon hanging on, only down by 2.
Big Ten basketball is powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Back here at the Kohl Center, let's go in the huddle with the Ducks and Dana Altman.
Fellas, it's into the paint. They're coming. Be ready to make a play. I don't mind you taking an inside-out 3, but we don't need a guarded 3. All right? Or one off the dribble right now. Just take simple ones. Move the ball, move the ball, move the ball.
Ball movement, body movement has led to some really nice step-in 3s, and he doesn't want those quick jacks. He wants them to get it off ball and body movement.
Well, and he wants that.
Yes, as they get the basketball inside the Biddle. Because remember, Biddle was open earlier in this game, and they didn't throw it inside, and they've got to be able to get him some touches in the post. He's terrific from 3, but I like him down in that paint.
And, Fonz, that has been a continuing theme for Dane Altman's club this year. They have settled for 3s at times that haven't made him happy. Meanwhile, Wisconsin is going inside with regularity.
And they've got to keep doing it because all of a sudden, this crowd gets going. Now you double team it, and now that ball's popping around, and that'll lead to some nice wide open 3s for Wisconsin as well. And folks, going to break, I said that Oregon was down 2. I'm using a little platform over here that's slow to, that's slow to load.
You're using that Notre Dame education that you got.
Yes, second foul on Biddle.
Yeah, that's a big whistle. 2 on Biddle.
And, folks, I love it when they get that basketball inside to Nate Biddle. You've seen how much he's growing, the patience and the poise to be able to get to what he wants. And Stephen Crowell, I love it when he's aggressive. He loves that little shake to the baseline to get to his left hand over his right shoulder. Stephen Crowell off to a tremendous start in this game.
We mentioned earlier how vital it is, Dana has talked about, for Biddle to be on the floor. We'll see how they handle the rest of this half.
Yeah, the on-off numbers for Nate Biddle and his impact on this team, the numbers are ridiculous. It's like a plus 120-something to -4.
He is out right now with 2 as Wisconsin operates down 1.
There's that double team.
And Crowell, he dragged that pivot foot. 4th Wisconsin turnover. Defonso, this is what you were discussing, though. And the difference is pretty staggering.
I mean, look at that. I mean, plus 134 when he's on and a -4 when he's off. That's a 130-point difference. And so, man.
You got your math correct there.
You know it. Supreme. But that's now Supreme Cook has to give them something down in the post. He's a terrific offensive rebounder and can play this back to the basket. Number 7 in black. I like this. This is a mismatch here, too.
Brandon Angel spent 4 years at Stanford, but there he lost it out of bounds.
Partner, right there is the growth of John Tonje and his understanding of where he needs to be on the floor defensively. And when you can get a back down big that way on the same side, if you can get a little quick dig, it kind of creates a little bit of confusion there. Tonje able to get his hand on the basketball there. Well done by number 9 in white.
They bottled Tonje up so far. He's 0 for 1 from the floor. And folks, that's one of the best scorers in the conference at 20 a game.
Well, TJ Bama, number 5 in black, is an outstanding defensive player in space.
Gilmore finds himself wide open.
Gilmore went to set that screen as he was going away and then slipped it to the basket. That's how he was so wide open. That's pretty offense.
Bamba. Shot clock inside 10. Starts to operate. In the lane. Powers it up. Doesn't get the bounce. Tonje saves it.
Good hustle by Tonje. It's a really nice job getting back in defensive balance, transition defensive balance, because Wisconsin had numbers.
Tonje pulls. There's his first bucket. Badger run. Wisconsin bench wanted to travel. Look at Gilmore. I'm going to say it went off of him, but Carter Gilmore has given a lot of energy off that bench today.
And it's what he does. The ability to be able to stretch the defense, his cutting, his hustle. Major impact for the Badgers. Jackson Shellstad, number 3 in black, with Nate Biddle out with 2 fouls. He's going to have to get it going on the offensive end. He's been quiet as of late.
He's out near the timeline right now as Bartholomew pulls from 15. And Tonje grabs it.
Yeah, missed an opportunity. Supreme Cook, 7 in black, had a mismatch inside.
Bounce down low to Nolan Winter. The Minnesota native with a fancy footwork. It's a 9-0 run, and Dana Altman has seen enough.
Folks, as a big, I'd love to see back to the basket bigs with good footwork. Wow. Look at Nolan Winter, a little up, little step under, and the finish over the top. The Badgers on the move.
Run for the Badgers. 7 of those points have come since Nate Biddle left with his second foul for the Oregon Ducks. So we'll see if that trend continues. And also, Fonz, Wisconsin, they've got a lot of points at the paint.
They really have, and they love setting this empty side ball screen action here. And as this basketball starts to get penetration, watch as Carter Gilmore, number 7 in white, they get so much good stuff off of this. All of a sudden, his defender, number 21 in black, turns his head. He cuts to the basket. And to your point, partner, this game has been won in the painted area. 18 of Wisconsin's points, 18 of their 23 have come in the paint, and there's been a lot of plays like that off of their empty side ball screen. We've seen them post it, we've seen them drive it, and we've seen the opposite side cut, as you just saw there. Wisconsin's offense is humming right now.
Now can Oregon's offense get back on track? Shellstad, that's a tough step back. And a little short. Tajay push, they've got a 3-on-2. Gets inside, so strong is John Tajay.
I wondered coming into this game with the smaller guards of Oregon playing against John Tajay and Blackwell, if those guys would be able to dominate. You let them get that close to the paint, it is over.
Supreme Cook kicks it out, Bamba, in rhythm triple. They can't get anything to drop right now.
Because of the heavy side on the post, they're going to have to make some of those to loosen it up.
It is now a 14-0 run, and it is bananas here in Madison.
Shellstad's got to get it going.
Evans driving kick. Now Bartholomew. Supreme Cook. Too much.
He thought Evans was going to be open on a weak side cut there to the basket. It just wasn't there.
Top of the arc three. Boy, if that would have gone, the roof might have come off this play.
I was going to say, you can't leave that kid. He's shooting 56% from three in Big Ten play.
Seems like just a moment ago, Oregon had a 17-14 lead, but that has all changed quickly. And they needed that. There's Bamba.
That's what they've gotten away from Oregon. Coach Dana Altman talked about it in his huddle, is the dribble penetration, looking to get to the rim, and if you get a double, then kick it to the other side. Little 2-3 zone here from the Ducks. Got to attack the middle of the floor.
Oregon will throw some different defenses at you.
Well, three-quarter court pressure, little 2-3 zone that has matchup principles, little man, just to try to throw you off balance.
And one of Dana Altman's hallmarks, a little long there from John Blackwell.
I think Oregon's got to push the basketball a little bit more, look for early opportunities.
Just like that. And that allows Cook to get it, but he thought he was fouled, no whistle.
I thought he was fouled also.
Blackwell, open three, in and out. And that's going to be a foul on TJ Bamba.
This is the new Wisconsin Badgers. The ability to push it in transition. John Tajay, a bully when he gets it around the rim. And then pushing it up the floor. Carter Gilmore couldn't quite come up with it, and he finds Tajay, who drills a left side corner three. We're talking about a contrast of styles. We saw Coach Bennett's team get recognized early, and his was a little bit slow and methodical. But this group, man, they can bury you in transition and blitz you in the half court. An efficient offensive team.
Klesmit, in and out. Oregon is very capable, too. They score 77 a game, but right now they're in a little bit of a rut.
And Biddle's back in, so the offense is running a little bit more efficiently. But Oregon's got to continue to move that basketball and attack the paint.
Down into Biddle with 2 fouls. And short on the pull-up. There's a foul. That's going to be 2 on Bamba.
TJ Bamba has been around for a long time, and he's so vital to this team defensively and his ability to be able to create his own offense. He just cannot commit that foul in the backcourt. That's a really silly foul by a very mature, tough-playing TJ Bamba.
So Bamba sits with 2, but do you like Dane Altman putting Biddle back out there with 2 here?
He has to, because he can feel the game kind of slipping away from him, and when you do that, you want your best players on the floor, and they've had no rim protection without him.
And Wisconsin 12-2 when Biddle was on the bench. And Tajay with a tough fadeaway there.
And that's what's so good about him. He takes and makes tough shots.
He is the reigning National Player of the Week, folks. Not just the Big Ten Player of the Week. He was the National Player of the Week in the last couple of games. Tracy amongst the trees, and Ducks will keep it with 15 to shoot.
But you see that one right there. There's 4 white shirts around one Duck with the basketball. That means somebody's open. That ball's got to get there 2 feet. You don't have it. You've got to get that basketball to open people, because the Wisconsin Badgers defense has just been swarming here early in the first half.
Taken away. John Tajay. Remember when we were talking about Tanjay starting cold? Well, he already has 12 points over the last 6 minutes. Media timeout. Fox, take us through this meeting.
Yeah, and that's Biddle's third. And we talked about the growth of John Tanjay on the defensive end. The anticipation out in transition. Watch him cock this one, folks. Sends that home. John Tanjay having a major impact on this game. 12 here in the first half.
Rob Snow with you. Coming up on the Ram Trucks halftime report, Tennessee and Texas A&M meet in the top 10 clash. Louisville tries to stay on Duke's tail atop the ACC, and we'll preview Cooper Flagg's trip to Madison Square Garden. Brandon LaFonso, we'll see you at the break.
All right, Rob, 32-19, and John Tanjay has been on a roll the last 5 minutes.
I mean, not a single point in the first 10 minutes of this game, but then all of a sudden he hit the play button, and he's been absolutely balling, able to get into the painted area, and that dunk was just, wow, just took my breath away. The way he cocked that thing back and sent it home, 5 of 5, 5 of 5 from the floor here over the last 8 minutes. He's been terrific.
And now the Ducks have a big problem because, as you noted before break, Nate Biddle picked up his third.
Yes.
So now Dane Allman has no choice but to keep him over there on the bench.
Well, this Wisconsin team has dominated them in the paint here. 24 of their 34 points have come in the paint. Nice.
Great pass, and Evans, two-handed hammer.
Because everyone was lifted on the left side of the floor, there was no help. And Evans Jr. slipped out of it beautifully, and what a nice pass underneath. Good offense there by Oregon.
This Ducks team riding that 3-game win streak. Tanjay, great spin. Everything but defender.
Yeah, he's just showing out now.
He might have been dizzy after that spin. That was
I can see why.
Unbelievably quick. There's Evans again going toward the rim.
Shellstad should have taken that over 3.
How about Tracy? No. Up ahead, Tanjay. So quick on the leak out, and Tracy slaps the arm across to foul him.
Now, folks, this has been really good offense for Oregon. They've got to stay with it to get some easy ones. Watch as Kwame Evans Jr. sets this screen. Now you have the weak side of the floor, no one in the paint, and he slips it, and what a beautiful pass underneath by Bartholomew. And they've got to continue to try to manufacture points in the paint, either off the pass or off the dribble. They can't settle for the 3. It's just not been their consistently here in the first half.
Biddle, all he can do is watch. A Big Ten Player of the Year candidate, John Tanjay, native of Omaha, Nebraska, knocks down both.
Yeah, Braden Smith of Purdue, I think it's his to lose, but John Tanjay, all of a sudden, man, is coming after it.
I mean, last 8 games, over 25 points of contact.
Yes.
Tanjay's just been unconscious.
32 points a game over the last 2, shooting 50% from 3, getting to the foul line, 10 free throw attempts per game, too. Really good balance in his offensive attack. It's a mismatch here.
So he's going to go right to the rim. 2 more. Already 16. Shellstad, step back. Oregon cannot buy a bucket.
When they've been able to get it in the paint, they've gotten something good. When they've been just bringing it up the floor on one side, Jack, it's not been good.
Yeah, anything 15 and out for Oregon has been off the mark today. Here's about a 15-footer, and that does drop for Keyshawn Bartholomew.
Yeah, and he's got a beautiful pull-up J, and they need a lot more of that for number 9 because Shellstad is having a rough go of it here in the first half.
Bartholomew's capable, 10 points a game, moved into the starting lineup 5 games
Yes. He was their offensive firepower off the bench, but they felt they needed that firepower in the first 5 rotation. Good call.
But Amos could not handle the pass. Bartholomew leads for Shellstad, NBA range.
Much better.
That is in rhythm.
Much better.
A timeout by Wisconsin with 1:09 remaining in the first half. Back in 30 quick seconds. Tonight on Fox Primetime Hoops, freshman phenom, player of the year favorite Cooper Flagg and third-ranked Duke in a showdown at MSG against Illinois. That is going to be must-see TV, 7 Eastern tonight on Fox.
Yeah, Illinois has a terrific freshman of their own in Tomislav Ivicic, and he's been unhealthy here lately. They need him healthy tonight to take care of that middle. And you can see the numbers from Cooper Flagg. He leads that Duke team in almost every major category, both offensively and defensively.
The guard will be rocking tonight. Tajay with a rare miss, and here comes Moss. That last three, though, for Oregon before the break, Dane Altman says those are the ones he wants.
Yes, inside out step-in threes, and you can get step-in threes in transition as well. I have not liked the bulk of three-point shots from Oregon so far. That's a tough one, too.
That is very tough, and too much mustard from Shellstack.
Regarding Illinois, Kasparis Yakichonis. That young kid, the 6'6" Lithuanian point guard, he's got to have a big day against Duke tonight, too, if they want to have a chance to beat that team.
And a projected top 10 pick.
Yes.
A lot of stars tonight at MSG on Fox. All right, so you got about a 4-second difference here, shot and game clock. Blackwell spinning, two there, defending, and taken away by Cook. Oh, Gilmore got it back. Oregon.
Got time.
One final heave. Oh, almost win. That looked like the last shot of the 2010 title game between Duke and Butler right there.
That's a great point. Tell you what, partner, this Wisconsin team has dominated the painted area. 26 of their 38 points have come in the paint, and that's been the story.
So the Badgers, the 11th ranked team in the land, up by a dozen at intermission. We'll send you to our guys, Rob Stone, Casey Jacobson, Seth Davis in our Fox studios right after this. You're watching Fox College Hoops.
I'm gonna shake it up. I'm gonna ball it up. I'm gonna rock it up and ball tonight.
Big Ten Player of the Year candidate John Tajay. First 9 minutes, he didn't have a single point, but he heated up quickly. 16 at intermission to lead the Badgers, who are on top 38-26 over the Oregon Ducks. Let's take a look at our first half stats, powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve. And 50% for that efficient Badgers offense. Oregon struggled from outside, just 4 of 14 from long range. Courtside at the Kohl Center, Brandon Gaughan, LaFonso Ellis back with you. And really, that's the difference. Oregon couldn't score on the outside, and Wisconsin dominated the inside.
Well, we talked about in the open the importance of dominating the paint, especially Wisconsin, because they got such a size advantage. Their point guards are tall, their twos are tall, and of course they got those 2 7-footers across the front line, and they've been extraordinary in attacking the painted area. They've done it off the bounce, they've gotten it on the glass, they've gotten it in transition. And talk about Guns N' Roses and appetite for destruction. John Tajay, after a slow start, developed that appetite and went nuclear on us. Must have heard us talking about Braden Smith. And he being the front runner for the Big Ten Player of the Year. He made his presence known there in the last 10 minutes of that first half.
As he has the last month of this season. What a block by Biddle, speaking of making your presence felt. And remember, folks, Nate Biddle is out there with 3 fouls. But I think Dane Altman realizes, like we said in the first half, Fonz, he has to have 32 out there.
Yeah, they've got to win the first 4 minutes of this second half here. And to do that on the offensive end, they can't settle for J's. They've got to get dribble, penetration, kick out threes in transition, but they've got to do it here and get some stops.
They do not get a stop. Max Klesmit, the sharpshooter from Neenah, Wisconsin.
We talked about ball screen defense and the importance of it. That time, Max Klesmit's defender went under, and he casually just knocked down that three from the left wing.
Here they go to Biddle. Maybe a little too far on the hook shot, and a rebound to Crowell.
And that's Stephen Crowell doing a nice job of forcing him away from the basket, which makes that hook shot a lot more difficult.
Crowell has grown so much in his 5 years here in Madison, and Greg Gard just sings the praises of number 22. Tajay, step back, and Angel grabs it.
I think Oregon's got to play a little faster, try to catch this defense, transition defense of Wisconsin on its heels to get some early looks.
There's Biddle on the offensive glass.
That's the difference that he makes. He not only blocks shots, he can get on that offensive glass. He's good in the post, and he can knock down threes. They're a different team with him on the floor.
He's also a leader. He's the longest tenured Duck, the only 4-year player in the rotation for Dana Altman.
And I think he has cool hair. I have none.
Well, okay. You're the first person to say that. Boy, Tajay missed the dunk. And he hung on the rim, basket interference, so it'll go back to Oregon.
Folks, watch as this ball screen takes place. All of a sudden, he's setting that screen there. The defender decides to go under. And when you're an offensive player, when they go under, you just step right back behind it. That's a really good read by Max Klesmit. He drills that three. Good offense there from the Badgers. Nice.
Into Biddle, and he puts it home. He's got 9 to Snake Biddle.
I like the intentionality behind getting number 32 and Black the ball in the painted area and letting him go to work. That was a really nice pass by Bamba.
Now can the Ducks get the stop on this hit?
Good help.
Brown can hit that three, doesn't take it here. Klesmit back to the big fella. And the big fella to the basket.
That's so smart. Again, that's that empty side ball screen that avails so much good offense there by Wisconsin. That time, a little pass underneath to Stephen Crowell. And he knows that Biddle's got a bit of foul trouble and goes right at him.
Angel off the shot fake, but he left it short.
I thought he should have turned that one down and thrown the ball inside to Nate Biddle. Nate Biddle just scored his last 2 possessions.
And Angel has been quiet. He hasn't scored yet. What a backdoor caught by Klesmit. That's Princeton style, old school.
It certainly is old school, and that's why defensively you got to force everything to the ball because there's no backside help. That's a good read by Klesmit and a more beautiful pass underneath.
By Bellamy, little teardrop. No.
Stephen Crowell, such a good passer.
Yeah, another thing that he can do at 7 feet tall.
It's a nice job by Bamba making him use that screen.
We praised his passing. He threw it out of bounds.
He doesn't take compliments very well. And here's the empty side ball screen here from Oregon that we talked about earlier. And that's a really nice blast at Biddle. Good patience there to score that one. And another one here for Wisconsin. And I love the fact that Stephen Krause knows that Biddle has a little bit of foul trouble. And he goes right to his chest.
Going right to the basket. There's a senior from the Bronx, T.J. Bamba.
Yeah, that's a design play to take all of the help away from the top of the floor and allow T.J. Bamba to attack to his right side. Good offense by Oregon.
Bamba 3 years at Washington State, then last year at Villanova, and finishing out west in Eugene. Winner powers it up over Biddle.
I love the fact that Wisconsin's continually going at Biddle because he can't be too aggressive with 3 fouls. It's good recognition by the Badgers. He can make that.
Short, long rebound to Gilmore. Now the Ducks 4 of 16 from outside the arc.
Got to keep going at Nate Biddle. It's been really good here in the early parts of the second half for the Badgers.
Blackwell gets by Evans. John Blackwell with a shake and bake into a triple that's no good.
It's a tough shot over a 6'9", long-armed Kwame Evans Jr.
Tracy
needed.
Just can't connect. Even their good looks have not been dropped.
Yep.
At times they have lived and died by the 3 this year, and right now they're dying by it.
3 on Bamba.
Yeah, Pete Carrill is smiling down on this play, Fonz.
Yes, he is. And, folks, when your guy is expecting you to go over the top, he steps up top and you cut back door. That's really good offense and a terrific read by Max Klesmit.
All right, where are all my 80s and 90s kids who remember Duck Hunt on regular Nintendo?
Let's go.
That's how we talk about the Ducks and all these trips out east, all the miles logged. This is their second to last trip east because, of course, they'll have to go to Indianapolis for the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah.
Now, look, Fonz, we talked to Dana Altman about it. He didn't want to discuss it. He said everybody's going through it. We're tired of talking about it. But it is a lot on these guys to do this and the schoolwork.
There's no question about it. I mean, you talk about this game today that started at 11 o'clock Central Time. That's 9 a.m. Who plays a basketball game at 9 a.m.? And I think the stats show it. 8 and 14 for 2+ time zones when they go east, yet the teams that go west have a much more favorable result. And so there's no question about it. I had a tough time. I got up at 7 o'clock this morning. Our production people back in California got up at 3. They were out the door at 3.
Yeah.
It certainly has an impact.
And we appreciate all their hard work. Knocked out. Winner got a good look there, but it belongs to Oregon.
And even when I played in the NBA, played in Miami, when we would go west, I didn't feel anything. But, man, when I was one of those Western teams playing for the Nuggets going east, we struggled on the road quite often.
They've been out here all week. They played at Iowa on Wednesday, got a 2-point win, and then they'll head back to Eugene after the game tonight.
Partner, we've not said Shellstad's name in a long time. Little's got to go on. Shellstad's got to join the party. But that's a nice little post up there for Jazier and Tracy.
So the Ducks hanging around, but still a 13-point deficit.
Here's that quasi-zone that they play. Got to attack the middle of the floor.
Gilmore, drive, kicks. There's Winner. Little long, and a rebound taken by Moss.
That's good offensive execution. They got a good look against that zone by attacking the middle of the floor. Well done.
Here is Shellstad. You mentioned him. Quiet as of late. He must have heard you. Right to the rim.
He heard me say his name. John Tonje heard me talking about Braden Smith, and he went nuclear. Man, we got a little pull over here, buddy.
And Shellstad, folks, he is a good one when he is on. Shellstad, one of the 10 players in the preseason named to the all-conference team.
Love it.
Draws a bump there against Janicki.
Yeah, I love when they're playing with a little bit more pace, looking to push for early opportunities. But Shellstad, in this case, got a speed advantage over Janicki. Janicki's got to make him use that screen. He rejects it and gets to the baseline side. There's no help. That's really good read there by Shellstad.
Local kid out there, West Lynn High School on the south side of Portland, about 100 miles from Eugene. Same high school as Peyton Pritchard, played at Oregon in the NBA.
The Boston Celtics wears the same number, in fact.
Two diving on the floor. How about McGee winning the battle and getting the timeout?
Partner, we talked about McGee's impact coming off the bench and why they need him. I mean, look at him giving up his body, diving on the floor, disruptive defensively. Who wants it? McGee does. Both teams getting after it there. McGee able to keep a possession for his team.
Well, just a little over 3 weeks from Selection Sunday. Mike DeCourcy right now. These are his NCAA tournament projections for the Big Ten, including Wisconsin right now a 3 seed, Oregon a 7 seed. And look, it's been since 2000 that the Big Ten won a national championship. We know the SEC is great this year, but I feel like there's a couple Big Ten teams that could cut down the nets.
Well, I have a simple formula when it comes to teams that have won the national championship. Over the last 9 years, these 4 criteria have played out. You have to have at least a 9 offensive efficiency, 22 defensive efficiency or better, at least 36% from 3, and have a guy projected to go be a first-round pick in this year's draft. The 5 top teams in the Big Ten, only 4 of them fit 2. Only 1 fits 3 of the 4, and that's Maryland. Their 20 defensive efficiency, shoot 38% from 3, and Derek Queen, their super freshman, is projected to be a first-round pick, if not a lottery pick. And so when you look back in history at the last time a Big Ten team won it, that was Michigan State. They fit all 4 criteria.
Interestingly, of course, Maryland won it in 2002, but they were part of the ACC at that point in time. Well, certainly the Badgers check 3 of those 4 boxes. They can fill it up from deep, and they're showcasing it right now.
Early on, we saw the Badgers dominate the paint. Now all of a sudden the three-point shot is opening up. They make 11 made threes a game, folks. in Big Ten play, that's #1 in the Big Ten.
It's such a huge number. Okay, so you verbalized it, but here visually, this is your national championship criteria.
Yeah, and it's top 9 offensive efficiency, top 22 defensive efficiency, 36% from 3, and at least 1 first-round pick. And as I said before, the top 5 teams in the Big Ten, 4 of them fit 2 of the criteria, and only Maryland is 3 of the 4. But the last time we looked back in 2000 when Michigan State won it, all 4. Mateen Cleaves, Mo Peterson were their first-round picks.
And a young 45-year-old Tom Izzo back then getting the trophy back to East Lansing. Meanwhile, these are the first free throws today for Oregon, and Wisconsin has only had 6. It's been a pretty clean, free-flowing game.
It has. Oregon is more of a jump shooting team, and because of this new modern offense of Wisconsin, they are a jump shooting team. Although Tanjay and Blackwell, those guys can get to the rim, and Cloud can post. But for the most part, they're jump shooting teams, and these teams do a nice job of playing defense, keeping their offensive player in front of them and not fouling. And that's part of the reason why it's been such a clean game.
Getting back to the national championship conversation, though, this Michigan State team this year is interesting. Big win last night against the Wolverines, but they do not shoot it well from
on the road.
Yes, they don't shoot it well from 3, but they keep winning.
Yes. Don't shoot it well from 3. They do have a projected first-round pick in Jace Richardson, who's been balling as of late. But, sorry, partner, only 2 of the criteria.
It'll be interesting to watch them. You mentioned Maryland. Curious to see them. Michigan. This Wisconsin team, look, Tanjay is a bucket getter.
Yes, he is.
So regardless of where he goes professionally after this, he can get buckets for this Badger team. Yeah. Right now, McGee gets buckets.
Yep. And I just love the balance. And this new modern Badgers offensive team, they can beat you in transition. They can beat you in the half court. They can post you. They can knock down threes. And they're really good in terms of their defensive gap help. And they don't give up very many offensive rebounds. I expect this Badger team to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament.
That's a shot that you normally see Shellstad knock down. But he's 4 of 11 today for the field. Taken away by Cook. Shellstad will lead the break.
Got numbers here. Need it.
They find Tracy, and Tracy buries it.
Transition threes, inside-out threes have been really good for Oregon. It's those same-side jacks that they've had that have not been good.
Try to set up a little pressure, but Wisconsin, no problem. Of course, the last Badger team to make the Final Four, they did it back-to-back years, 2014, 2015. Great pass, and Winter knows what to do with it.
Another one of those empty side ball screens. Their execution in that phase of the game has been magnificent this afternoon.
They're just smart, this Badger team.
Yes.
And they don't beat themselves, as cliche as that is. It is true.
Ooh, mismatch inside. Cook's got to get it.
They sense that mismatch, and there's a foul on the Badgers. Yeah, they're hoping to make a deep run in March. Again, the last time they did it, Frank the Tank and company. Wow, when they were runners-up in 2015. Hey, tell me you're a Badger fan without telling me you're a Badger fan. That's this guy right here. Where do you get one of those?
I know. Where's the matching coat?
Progressive Game Summer against Slam Dunk Savings today. And points in the paint continues to be a thing for Wisconsin. Although Oregon has closed the gap there a little bit.
They have. And we talked about the modernized Badgers. How about 16-4 transition points?
Yeah, you know, back in the day, it was always in reverse against Wisconsin.
That's exactly
now
right.
They get it and they go.
And though they're playing at a faster pace, they still continue to take great care of the basketball, so they don't beat themselves.
Number 11, Mookie Cook in black. First time we've seen him get some tick today. Crowell, and it worked to perfection.
Yeah, that's really good. That's a design play coming out of that timeout to get the basketball into the hands of whoever it is that the biggest Badger is defending and able to get to the rock there. Well done.
Wisconsin is led by as many as 17. Oregon just hasn't been able to get it back down to single digits.
I love the communication that I'm hearing defensively from Oregon. The switches are loud.
Into the shot clock here, taken away. Mookie Cook mentioned he just came in the game. He gets a steal. He finds Bartholomew, and all of a sudden we've got a 10-point game.
Mookie Cook's minutes have been up and down. He missed 9 games on the year, but coming in the game and having the impact on this one. Former top 30 in high school.
Yeah, he was another highly talented recruit. How about the blow-by McGee?
Tell you what, speed beats pressure all day long, and that's a great example by Kamari McGee.
7 points for McGee, perfect 3 of 3 from the floor.
I think Oregon should think about bringing all their starters back on the floor.
And Biddle's still on the bench with the 3 fouls. Gilmore drives. How did he find Blackwell? Not for sure.
John Blackwell, usually really good from 3, has struggled today. 0 for 4 in this game.
Getting inside, that's Raheem Moss. Strong rebound by Janicki.
Yeah, that's a tough shot there. He never got the basketball properly in his hands.
Janicki, another former walk-on turn scholarship player. Crowell had a huge size advantage. Bartholomew picks up the foul.
Folks, it's always annoying when you set a full court press and you have a speed merchant, Kamari McGee, who runs right through your pressure and able to get to the front of the rim. He's the own individual press break.
Well, he comes off the bench, but as a 6-man, Greg Gard just says he adds so much value to our team.
Defensively, as we talked about earlier, to be able to get up and under the ball as a disruptor defensively. He sets the tone offensively in terms of his point guard ability, and then shooting over 50% from 3. He's having a fantastic year.
That's a dangerous pass, but Shellstat saves the turnover, but then Tanjay steals it. Here goes McGee again, lightning fast. Somehow he continues to track it down.
His speed is incredible. Speed, toughness, and skill, number 4 in white.
Weaving in and out of traffic and finding Xavier Amos.
Xavier Amos not shooting a great percentage from 3, but he's amazingly skilled. The Northern Illinois transfer. They thought he'd be more of a 4, but because of his ability, he can play a little bit of 3 as well.
Gives the Badgers a 15-point lead here inside of 8 minutes. Biddle back on the court. He attacks too much, but right to Bartholomew. Might not have been on purpose, but it worked out. And then Dana Altman is going to take a timeout here.
These two teams just exchanging 3 blows. Kamari McGee able to get in the paint, kicks it out to Amos, and he drills that 3 from the right wing, and a fortuitous bounce for Oregon. Bartholomew knocks that one down. Oregon down 15.
Big Ten basketball is powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Sell out here at the Kohl Center, over 16,000 on hand. Badgers up a dozen. One thing that makes this offense so prolific, Fonz, what they can do with the ball screen.
Yeah, this open side or empty side ball screens put a lot of stress on your weak side defense because there's no one there to help, and they've been making beautiful reads coming off. If you stay with, they've been making a drop bounce pass underneath, and Stephen Crowell's been magnificent there. Max Klesman had one earlier. They went under, and he knocked down the 3. When you play against Wisconsin, your ball screen defense has to be on par. If not, they just blitz you, and they've been really good the entire game in that phase.
And they've been really good as of late. They are undefeated in the month of February here. And that's a different story from last year when they went 2-6 in this month. Biddle gets a steal. but they limped to the finish line last year after
Yes.
being top 10 in the country. This season has a totally different feel to it.
Yeah, the addition of John Tonje, who's emerging as a defensive player as well to balance his offensive attack. I just think this team is a lot deeper, and a lot more complete, and a lot more balanced than last year's team.
Shot clock at 5 for the Ducks. Barthelomew's going to have to hoist it. Oh, my. Somehow got it on the rim. Amos colliding, but Wisconsin keeps it.
If you said hoist, that's exactly what that was. And again, when you're playing against a good defensive team, if you don't take the first really good look, it always ends in a bad shot or a turnover, and it was a bad shot there.
Tonje has a lay. Yes. 18 points for John Tonje.
Well, he is quick to that rim.
6-year senior, been a long college career for Tonje. Now, Biddle can do that, flexing his muscles. Trying for a three-point play. But our Above and Beyond, sponsored by Jersey Mike's, Be a Sub Above, shines the spotlight back on Mr. Tonje.
Yeah, after not scoring a single basket in the first 9-10 minutes of this game, he went nuclear with 16 to end the half. And we see him aggressively putting it down there. I mean, look at what he's done against ranked teams, folks. 29 points a game. He's been magnificent.
So 4 years at Colorado State for Tonje. Last year he goes to Missouri, but he gets injured.
Yes.
Only plays 8 games, and so he wasn't as big of a transfer portal thought by most teams.
Right.
But Greg Gard had his eyes on him, and the Badgers were able to land him. Crowd downtown. Ooh. Somebody opened the barn door.
Yes, you lose A.J. Storr, you lose Chucky Hepburn. They needed a dynamic wing player to come in and be able to make an impact, and that's exactly what number 9 in white has been.
Oregon trying to creep back into it. Bucket here gets him to single digits. McGee knocking it out of bounds.
He's getting some good looks, but as Biddle makes that little drop step to the middle, he's got to be more forceful and not allow Stephen Crowell to push him up the lane, because now that makes that hook shot a lot more difficult because it's so much further away from the rim and you're off balance.
Biddle face up 18-footer. Offensive rebound, Evans. And Evans muscles it home, and we have a 9-point game.
Evans has made a huge impact on this game, blocking shots, rebounding.
Yeah, the numbers, 6.6 rebounds, good. They don't look all that impressive, but he's added more than that today. Cross-court skip, Klesmit. Yeah, they dodged a bullet.
Dodged a few, because there's been a few of those wide-open Badger threes that they've been knocking down as of late.
The crowd can sense that Oregon has a new lease on life here. Barthelemy with a three. 2-possession ball game.
The away ball screen, the defender goes underneath, and Barthelemy steps into a wide-open three.
8-0 run over the last 90 seconds. And Tonje way off the mark.
What was working well for Wisconsin early is when they recognized that Nate Biddle was in foul trouble. And as we look back at this one, that's just an away screen, and you got to communicate that to switch. No switch takes place. You go under. Now Keyshawn Barthelemy's wide open for a knockdown three.
Best sequence today for the Ducks. Can they continue with their foot on the gas? Bamba into Biddle. Big fella, spinning, off the glass, no.
So good balance, good strength there. That was a good move. He just missed it.
Tonje spinning, kicking, extra pass. And Blackwell, the surveys.
Good D by Bamba.
Over the top, and too tall for Crowell. Final media timeout, and all of a sudden, folks, we got a ball game. The Ducks are flying high on an 8-0 run, back within 6.
Coming up next, we head to the Big 12 as Aaronette Vonleh and 19th-ranked Baylor chase their 8th straight win as they get set to host 19-win Iowa State. But first, we take you back to a tight one in Madison.
Yeah, Rob, it has tightened up. Now, Oregon, they just changed their score from 58 to 57 because that last Bartholomew 3, his foot was on the line. So it's 7 and not 6, the deficit. But either way, what a run here by the Dogs.
Yeah, Oregon has completely flipped the script here in the second half. It was Wisconsin who dominated the painted area in the first half. In the second half, it's been Oregon 18-10.
And they work inside out there. And Bartholomew just couldn't get it to drop.
I thought Bartholomew held that ball in his hand a second too long. That shot looked very different from the pull-up 3 or pull-up 2 that he made from distance.
This game remains tight. Keep in mind, neither team is in the bonus right now. Is that a goaltend? They say yes. And Tanjay now with 20 and the lead to 9.
He has a way of getting in that paint. Yeah, I think he hit the backboard first, and then Kwame Evans hit it second. It's a good call by the official. Yep, good call by the official. Yep.
Previous call on the court is under review.
Keith Kimball, the official, will take a quick look at it. And this is the shot.
2-point basket.
Well, they already confirmed it, but this is the Bartholomew 3 that was the right call to change to it.
Yes. And folks, just to revisit something, it doesn't, just because my formula has held the last 9 years doesn't mean that there's no hope for a Big Ten team, because since 2009, they've been 3. There have been 3. UConn in 09, UConn in 14, and Louisville in 13. And because there's no dominant team necessarily in college basketball, I think all 4 of these teams in the Big Ten have a legit chance to win the title.
So you're giving some love and some hope to those.
Oh, for sure.
They do confirm that goaltend. You know, and for Oregon, look, not many people are going to go out there right now and pick them as a Final Four team. But remember, this is a team that started 11-0, beat Alabama, beat Texas A&M. They feel like if they can just get back on the right track, they can make a run.
There's no question about it. And I would not want to see Illinois, a healthy Illinois team, as an 8 seed either.
No way. You kidding me? Biddle, you talked about them going in the paint more in the second half. There you go.
Off the ball screen action.
Inside of 3 minutes. A Wisconsin lead that was once 17 is now 7.
I'd like to see John Tanjay get a touch in the post. Missed him there. He's got Shellstaff guarding him. He's got to touch it.
Turnover. Bamba on the leak out. Attacks can't finish, but Evans can.
That's why you never give up on the play as a big. That's a good attack by Bamba. Kwame Evans Jr. did exactly what he should do, which is running to the front of the rim.
Badgers able to beat the press, but Oregon storming back to give us a good finish here in Madison.
I'd like to see Crowell or Tanjay touch this on the offensive end.
Here's Tanjay. Crowell gives it up to Klesman. The sharpshooter. Back to Crowell. Offensive. Biddle took the contact, and the Ducks get it back.
You talk about a high IQ play from Nate Biddle. He knew Stephen Crowell was going to come into his body, got set, and took the charge. What a unbelievable play by Nate Biddle. You got to be a thinking dude. And again, Nate Biddle knows that they've been going at him, and that's that same shoulder or right arm into the chest that he's been absorbing all second half long, and he read it beautifully there.
Inside of 2 minutes.
Shellstad and Biddle.
Shellstad down into the big man. Biddle, patient, kicks. There's Bamba. Boy, got a good look.
He did.
And now the Badgers, Greg Gard says, we're in no hurry here. 90 seconds. Badgers try to get to 6-0 here in the month of February, to 12-4 in the Big Ten.
Crowell and Tanjay on this end of the floor.
Right now it's Blackwell, 5 to shoot. Inside, disrupted, knocked out. So the Badgers Badgers will have 3 to get a shot off.
Yeah, Blackwell missed Crowell. He was wide open right behind him after that ball screen. I think they're going to go take a look at this to see who that basketball was off of. And you could do that.
Previous call on the court is under review.
Also give them a chance to make sure they've got the shot clock and the game clock where they want it.
Yeah, I was shielded from it. I couldn't see it from my side because from my side I thought it was off Shellstad.
You know, I think that went off of Blackwell.
It definitely went off Blackwell.
It caught the middle finger on his right hand at the very end.
Yes, that should be Oregon Duck ball.
Wow.
Let's see, swipes down, hits the ball. That's clearly off Blackwell. That should be Oregon Duck ball.
What a comeback here from Oregon. They led 17-16 in this game to the Ducks. Then Wisconsin went on that 14-0 run, and they've been in command ever since. But the Ducks simply will not go away.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a reversal from the Ducks game at Iowa. They had a big lead, and they surrendered that lead, but were able to make a big shot off the backboard from Shellstad to give them a 2-point cushion. And here they were down, able to battle back in this game with their defense and able to dominate the painted area. So it's been a really good showing here from Oregon.
What a win this would be. Their resume, because of that non-conference 11-0 start, is already strong, but this would be a big notch on their belt.
After previous review, it's going to be Oregon's ball. 1:13 on the game clock.
And they do switch it. The Ducks have the basketball.
Now, folks, those 8 quad 1 wins is better than all of the teams that are ahead of this Oregon Duck team in the Big Ten standings.
But this one would certainly bolster their resume in a big way.
Ball screen coming.
And 16,000 coming to their feet here in Madison. That's a good look. Bartholomew could not connect, but that went off of Wisconsin.
It's a beautiful play design, a little misdirection, starting with a high ball screen and then running Bartholomew from the left side of the floor out to the right. He had a wide open look that he just couldn't make.
Yeah, they got what they wanted. 1 minute.
1 minute remaining.
With a spin. With a finish.
They ran that same action at the early part of this second half to get Bamba to his right hand.
There's a bump. Keep in mind, though, that is only the 4th Oregon foul. So if they want to put the Badgers in the bonus, still 3 more to do it.
And, folks, in doing so, they create a double gap for Bamba to be able to get to his right hand. John Tonje doing a great job of cutting off his right hand, but the spin back and the finish with the left, that was beautiful.
Blackwell brings it up. And now, how will the Ducks play this?
You got to trust your defense right now. It's only a 1-possession game.
Blackwell will hold, milk some of that clock. And Greg Gard has 2 timeouts left. He's going to take one right here. When we came on the air today, we talked about the 2 offensive stars, Biddle for the Ducks, Tonje for the Badgers, and those 2 lead their teams in scoring, no surprise.
Yeah, Biddle's been pretty consistent throughout this game when he wasn't sitting on the bench with foul trouble with 17, exactly where he's been. And John Tonje, after not scoring a single field goal in the first 10 minutes of this game, went nuclear, scored 16 in the last 10 minutes of that first half. And Biddle's done a magnificent job here in the second half. 12 of his 17 have come in the second half alone. He's been sensational.
A guy who last year broke his wrist the 3rd game of the season, tried to come back, had a stomach issue, was out the rest of the year. So he's been there 4 years, but he says it feels like I'm not a senior.
Yes.
But certainly he's the leader of this team.
Yeah, and having been injured playing in the NBA, it takes you a full 9 to 10 months to kind of get your legs back under him. And I think his playing as well as he has over the last three games and this one, he's rounding in the form.
With a steal, the Ducks with a chance to tie it here with a 3. And Dana Altman is going to take a timeout. It wasn't that long ago that the Badgers led by 17.
Now, folks, this is just active hands here by the Oregon Ducks. A Wisconsin team that typically doesn't turn the basketball over, but it's been the active hands, the defense, the communication for Oregon here in the second half. They have 6 steals in this second half alone. They've been superb in that phase of the game.
So each team 1 timeout. Now here's the issue for Oregon, and I kind of mentioned it earlier. If you miss a shot here, you're the Ducks. You have to foul 3 times to put Wisconsin at the line. Now they're not focused on that right now, but that is something to keep in mind. Are you going for a 3 here? Or are you going for a 2 if you're Dana Altman?
With 27 seconds on the clock, I'm going for whichever one I can get the easiest. And so they've run a couple really good actions here late. We've seen it twice now where they've been able to run it to get it to T.J. Bamba getting to his right hand. He was able to get to the front of the rim with his right hand. And the last time he was able to spin back, get to his left. We've also seen them run a little bit of a misdirection for Barthélemy, who, man, he was wide open on that 3 but couldn't make it. And so I look for one of those 2 guys to be able to try to make a play. And if they can't get it there, look for Biddle around the rim.
Well, the Ducks have excelled in close games this year, including that win Wednesday at Iowa, 80-78.
Well, I love these games. These are great.
It has turned into a dandy.
Yes.
To get our Saturday started here on Fox College Hoops. So Barthélemy, over a 40% three-point shooter. He's the best one on the floor, number 9. Bamba's going to get it. Down inside to Biddle. And Biddle missed the bunny. Oh, he missed it at the rim. He can't believe it. And that is now the 5th foul on Oregon, so they're going to need to foul Wisconsin 2 more times.
As partner, they ran exactly what we said they would. They were able to get Bamba to his right hand. He was cut off, made a beautiful bounce pass underneath. I thought Biddle should have gone up right away, and he hesitated for a moment. And wow, missed opportunity there. But you got to flush that one now and get to the next play, because there's plenty of time left in this game. They've got to try to go for a steal, and if they don't get a steal, got to foul right away.
To review it, but you and I had a great look at that.
Clearly off Bamba.
But Wisconsin, uncharacteristic with 16 turnovers.
Yes.
Almost a 17th here, which would have been a season high.
Now, the only thing I'm unsure of, partner, is from that angle, was John Tonje, when he had the basketball, possession of the basketball, was his body on the sideline? That I couldn't see.
And from that angle, that left hand to Tonje.
Let's see here. Well, the ball was out of his hand by that time.
Yeah, but
let's see if we can see it one last time. Tonje there.
You know, I think it's
Tonje's hand may have been on that left hand. You're right, partner.
So I said we had a great look, but we couldn't see Tonje's hand. We just saw that hit off of Bamba's knee. Do they feel like they have enough to change the call?
That's
that is always the key thing here, because it was ruled Badger basketball.
Yes.
Folks, if you're just tuning in, it looked like the Ducks were dead in the water.
Yes.
After further review,
controlled this.
It's going to be Wisconsin ball on the side, 17.9 on the game clock.
Well, in that case, they felt they didn't have enough.
Wisconsin.
They feel like they didn't have enough evidence to overturn the call.
Okay.
But I agree with you, partner. I thought that was last off of John Tonje's left hand.
It hits Bamba's knee, no question.
Yeah, I thought that was off Tonje's hand. Yeah, that's a missed one right there.
A break for the Badgers.
Yes. But all of that, Oregon's got to shake off. They got to keep that basketball in front of them, not allow anything to go wrong. And again, go for a steal. And if you don't get it, you got to foul right away.
Klesmit will inbound. Oh, my goodness! Right off of Blackwell's knee. And some may say the ball don't lie. The Ducks with a new lease on life here with 17 to play.
17 turnovers now in this game for Wisconsin. They usually are really good with the basketball, but credit the Oregon Ducks' scrappy defense here in the second half.
Dana Altman takes his final timeout. And those 17 turnovers are a new season high for the Badgers.
And partner, same way here with 17 seconds on the clock. No need necessarily for a three. You want the best shot available. So if it's a wide open step in three, you take it. Otherwise, you're trying to get to the rim and get into the paint.
And the Badgers, they're trying to keep pace atop the Big Ten for a potential regular season title.
Yes.
With Michigan State and Michigan both with 3 losses ahead of them.
And we talked about the importance of this game on their home floor to keep pace because they're only a game and a half behind Michigan State for first place.
So 17 seconds feels like a lot of time.
Yes.
You don't have to have a 3 here, right? If you're Dana Altman?
No. First available, really good shot. If it's a step in 3, great. But you're trying to get that basketball to the painted area.
Both of these teams, if it comes down to foul shooting, are excellent. Wisconsin, in fact, is the best free throw shooting team in the country. So keep that in mind as well. Here we go. 16,000 vertical here at the Kohl Center. Shellstad to tie it. Oh! Ice water in his veins. 66 all. Wisconsin has a timeout, but they're not going to use it. Klesmit, step back, 2 seconds for the win! No! And we are destined for overtime in Madison.
Folks, this is back-to-back games now. One against Iowa. Shellstad hit one off the backboard to give them the lead. And how about the ice water in his veins tonight to be able to knock down that 3? That was an NBA range 3 that he just stepped into and drills it. Folks, he's got a really good defender on him. And Blackwell gives him a little run dribble to his right, snaps that thing back and drills it and tells everybody in here this is his house.
Wow.
Wow. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
The crowd is in disbelief, frankly. One last look, and Klesmit, he was the only guy that touched it here, Vaughn.
Yeah, and that's Shellstad playing great defense. I thought Greg Gard should have taken a timeout there because you want to get a great shot. That was decent at best, but you want to be able to get a great shot, and Greg Gard is excellent in out-of-time-out schemes, and I thought they missed an opportunity to get a better shot here on their home floor.
So we have overtime, which is powered by Ram trucks, built to serve. Alonzo, how about the last 6 minutes of regulation? Oregon, 16 points. Wisconsin, 2. And Wisconsin had 6 turnovers in those 6 minutes.
Yeah, it was that scrappy defense of Oregon. They were locked in defensively, active with their hands. 6 steals in the second half alone. They were really good in that phase of the game.
First overtime game this year for Greg Gard and the Badgers.
With this team on the floor for Oregon, it's an older team, and I found that their experience really played a great part in their poise and not giving up, because when Biddle missed that shot, you could see the entire team deflate after he missed that one close to the rim. But to be able to get to the next play requires a lot of experience and toughness, and Oregon showed both.
And it will be the Ducks with a basketball. They have not had a lead in this game since there was 11 minutes on the clock in the first half. Biddle. They're trying to get it back down to him. Instead, Bamba. In the lane. Spin. Pivot. No. Rebound. Knocked out. And they say Wisconsin ball.
Yeah, I thought that basketball actually was off Wisconsin. I thought that should have been Oregon ball again, but you can't review it at this phase of the game. Only under 2 minutes to go.
Well, the men in black agreed with you, but
yes,
the men in black and white did not.
Crowell and Tanjay here in overtime.
Here's Tanjay. 20 points today. Drives, stops on a dime. Well, you can't defend that.
And that's great defense by Bamba. But that step back jumper of his is hard to guard.
Evans, right to the rim, block for the foul. They're going to get Crowell. And 2 free throws coming.
Folks, when the game is on the line, you've got to get the basketball to your 2 best players on the floor. Crowell's one, Tanje's the other, and Tanje just making a play there. TJ Bamba's all over him, but that little bump gave him a little separation and was able to get off the floor first. And when you were scoring, you could see the rim. Man, you play with a high level of confidence. John Tanje making a beautiful play there.
Evans knocks down the first calmly.
Evans is giving them some good minutes, some shot blocking, some rebounding, some good passing and cutting. He's been a big part of that comeback by the Ducks.
He's on the doorstep of his first collegiate double-double. He's got 9 and 8. Sophomore from Baltimore. Yes. 1 week from March, and you can kind of feel it in here today,
there's no question about it. Oregon's going to stay with that full-court pressure that allowed them to be able to get back in this game.
Can Wisconsin handled it better than they did in the late stages of the second half? Blackwell works his way across. Crowell needs a friend, throws it to Winter at the timeline. But the offense a little out of sorts right now. 6 to shoot. Klesmit trying to get it in, but he can't. Kicks out. Blackwell. Rebound. Out off of Wisconsin.
When that basketball didn't get reversed quickly, everything just broke down on the weak side of the floor. And we usually don't see that from Wisconsin. They're usually razor sharp with their execution. But I think the defense and the active hands of Oregon has really flummoxed them on the offensive end. They're going to have to settle down and get back to what they do. Ball movement, body movement, and get some easier looks at the basket.
When Oregon went through that 5-game skid, people were questioning their toughness. They can't question it today. And there's their first lead since midway through the first half.
Crowell had made him, pushed him up the lane all second half long to make that hook shot a little harder. That time he didn't. Biddle's able to knock that one down.
What a player Nate Biddle is, and what an afternoon he's having. Blackwell and Biddle with a block.
He is everywhere.
Can the Ducks steal one here in Madison? Shelstad.
Got to keep Biddle involved.
And it's short. You would have liked to see that ball go inside.
Yeah, I'm an old-fashioned NBA guy. When you got a guy going, you got to get that basketball back to him. Same way on this end for Wisconsin. This got to be Crowell and Tanje.
Here's Crowell. That Ducks defense,
yes,
it has stepped up here late.
Swarming, isn't it?
Tanje to Winter. This would be huge.
John Tanje making a play. That's why you want the basketball in the hands of your best players. Stepping in and knocking that 3-ball down was Winter.
What a ball game.
Yes.
Biddle gives it up. Shelstad will reset. The sophomore from Wesleyan, Oregon, rises. Can't get the bounce, but there's Biddle. And he's fouled underneath.
Folks, Nathan Biddle is having himself a game. All of a sudden, he's in the post there. Crowell didn't force him up to the lane, and he's able to get to that left shoulder for the hook. And then John Tanje making a play. Nolan Winter stepping into a step-in 3, and he drills it from the top. Man, we've got ourselves a ball game.
This has turned into one of the better games in the Big Ten this year. And Biddle reties us at 71. He's got 20 to go along with 6 rebounds and a couple of blocks as well.
Nate Biddle had struggled over 3 games, but over his last 3 coming in this one, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks. He's been balling, and he's carried that over into this game. He's got 21 here.
Ducks back up by Penny.
I think you got to get your 2 best players on the same side.
McGee showing no fear, but also no whistle. Who they go off of. And they say Wisconsin basketball.
Nate Biddle has been everywhere, folks. He's scoring. Watch as he comes over and he goes vertical. That's a really good no call by the official. He's entitled to that vertical space. And then both teams just getting after it.
It was ruled Wisconsin ball. They will take a
Previous
look.
call on the court is under review.
Partner, I think Wisconsin, the reason their offense is a little jacked up right now is I think they have to get their 2 best players on the same side playing 2-man game. You got to get Tanjay and Crowell on the same side of the floor. I think that's clearly Wisconsin's ball there.
Yeah, you're right. It looked like Winter avoided touching it.
Yeah, Mookie Cook, number 11 in black, touched it last.
Or did he touch it?
From that first angle, I thought it was off
Maybe
with his
just
left hand there. Right. Let's see if the ball changes. Oof, that's tough to call. Initially, I thought it was right on his hand. But if the call on the floor, that is Wisconsin basketball, I don't think they have enough to overturn it.
The question is, though, if Cook didn't hit it, who was the last to touch it before that?
Good call, partner. I think that's Bartholomew.
Oh.
Well, Nolan Winter punched it out of his
Also
hand.
got his hand.
Yes.
This is when I'm glad you and I are over here not officiating, right?
Absolutely.
This is a tough one.
Yes. Because Bartholomew has his hand on it.
Then Winter
hits it last. Yes. And the question that I can't tell is, did Mookie Cook touch it with his left hand? Because if he didn't touch it with his left hand, then that's an Oregon ball. And it didn't change. You notice it didn't change the rotation at all. It didn't slow it down. It didn't change the direction. Man, that's a tough one.
And obviously everything right now is huge. Such a big call with 1:24 to go in overtime. And all 16,000 the Kohl Center have been standing, so about 2 minutes left in regulation.
Right.
This is such a great home court advantage, and it's been a spectacular crowd today, but the Ducks surged late. Shellstead hit that huge 3 to send us to the extra session.
It's going to be Wisconsin's ball on the baseline with 1:25 on the game clock.
Okay, there's the word from Keith Kimball.
Yep, and to your point, I love coming here calling games. The investment from the fans, whether it's 20 degrees below zero outside or if it's 40 outside, they are here and locked in.
Second best winning percentage for a home court behind the Breslin Center since this place opened in '98. Tanjay gets it. This young man has 22 today. He's the reigning National Player of the Week. He wants a big 3 off the mark. And the Ducks have it with a 1-point lead.
I still would rather he and Crowell be in that pick and roll situation. Your 2 best players. I feel like they've missed some opportunities here in the last couple minutes of this game because you know it's going to Biddle.
It is going to Biddle. Biddle going to the basket.
Nate Biddle.
He's so good over that left shoulder.
After a slow first half, Nate Biddle now has 23. And Greg Gard takes a timeout as he feels it slipping away.
And Stephen Crowell has yet to touch the ball on the offensive end for Wisconsin. Yeah, this is Nate Biddle at his best. Now he's able to get the angle that he wants. He's able to shoot that hook shot from about 3 feet out versus the 6 to 7 feet when Crowell was moving him up the lane. He's been impressive here in this second half.
Totally a tale of 2 halves. Remember, Wisconsin dominated in the paint in the first half. But since intermission, the Ducks have done that.
Yeah, 22-12 here for the Ducks. They've been able to drive that basketball, get it to the front of the rim, and then they've been able to post up Nate Biddle on the interior, and he's been outstanding in that phase of the game.
So your great guard right now. You got 48.5 left. You're down 3. Tanjay has been your guy.
Yep.
Crowell has really been bottled up, especially in the second half. Do you start to create with Tanjay here on this possession?
I think you have to put it in the hands of your best players. And again, I've said it over and over again, Crowell has yet to touch the basketball. I'd like to see them get in some kind of two-man game with Steven Crowell and Tanjay and put pressure on that defense, because those are your two guys. That's your best interior player and your best perimeter player on the same side of the floor. I think that'll be a plus for the Badgers.
First ever Big Ten meeting between these two schools, and it has turned out to be a memorable one.
Yes, it has.
Boy. These schools have met 9 times all time, 3 times in the NCAA tournament. So they have some postseason history, but now the first conference game is Big Ten foes.
Wisconsin decided to go small here, so if they can find one of Oregon's bigs on one of their guards, that guard's going to drive it.
Yeah, crowd on the bench, a little surprising. John Blackwell gets it back to Tanjay. Here's their guy. Guarded by Bamba. Drives, step back. Oh, he would have hit that. What defense by Bamba? He had a hand right in his face.
Well, remember, in the first half, he didn't score a single field goal in the first 10 minutes of the game, and it's because Bamba was out there on the floor. Look at this active hands, able to get him back in his chest and force him to take that fadeaway. He can shoot that one, but he's better shooting that from his left. TJ Bamba's done an outstanding job defensively against one of the best scorers in the country.
Bamba went right over to the bench, and they all celebrated with him. They know how key that defensive stop was.
Because remember, it was after he picked up his second foul in the first half that Tanjay went to work.
Missed the front end, though. Did Evans. Blackwell drives. Blackwell puts it home. And a timeout taken.
Now, I get the fact that you don't want to foul in that situation, but you can't let a guy go coast to coast against your defense without getting some kind of resistance.
And Fonz, especially because Oregon somehow has a foul to give.
Yes.
They only have 5.
Yes.
So I thought Bamba would maybe just slap him across the arm to stop his progress.
Yeah, I thought so too. And the people, all of your teammates who are behind you, got to let you know that a screen or something's coming. And you could tell TJ Bamba had no idea. So when he felt that contact, there was no one behind him to help. And
Oregon looking for their 20th win of the season, and arguably their biggest, even though they did beat Alabama in the non-conference. But to come in here and beat one of the hottest teams in the country would be a big-time feather in their cap.
And making them uncomfortable and doing things that they don't ordinarily do. Folks, this is a Wisconsin team that takes great care of the basketball. They have 17 turnovers in this game.
Wisconsin out of timeouts. Ducks have 1. They get it into Bartholomew, and he's fouled by Blackwell. We got to overtime because of Jackson Shellstad, who's had a relatively tough afternoon, but he stepped up at the biggest moment.
Unbelievable. Drives that thing to his right, a little crossover to his left to create a little separation. He drills that 3. That's 2 games in a row now that we've seen him do that. Did it against Iowa to give them a 2-point lead, and did it to send this thing into overtime here.
Bartholomew, solid foul shooter, just south of 90%. Double bonus. Knocks down the first. Klesmit back in for Wisconsin. Great guard bringing him on the floor because he's such a good 3-point shooter.
I'm still surprised that Crowell's not on the floor for Wisconsin.
Huge free throws from Keyshawn Bartholomew.
for Oregon. This low full court pressure, keep everything in front, nothing behind you.
And remember, they still have a foul to give.
Wisconsin's got to attack the paint.
Precious seconds ticking away, and there's that foul, and I think a smart one.
Yes.
Before Tajay could put up a shot.
Especially when he's getting to his left, because that's the area where he really likes to slide step to his left and shoot that three.
It is the fourth foul, though, on TJ Bamba. Tajay, they get it right back to him. To tie. No. Tracy the rebound. He is fouled with 2.8 to go.
TJ Bamba just walked past me and gave me the exile. I got that dude locked up here in the second half, and he's not lying.
You know, that is a great point, Fonz. Bamba, it may not look at the scoring column like he did a whole lot, 6 points. His defense on Tajay changed the course of this game.
It's been extraordinary. It started out that way, held Tajay to he didn't score a single field goal in the first 10 minutes of this game. When he picked up his second foul, went to the bench, Tajay went nuclear, scoring 16 in that first half. And his defense here in the second half and the overtime has been absolutely sensational.
Well, now here's the big one, and Tracy got it. Makes it a 2-possession game.
No fouls here.
They'll let it roll, but it's not going to matter. What a win for the Oregon Ducks. From down 17, they win it in overtime over 11th-ranked Wisconsin. And another 20-win season and a big win on their resume. For LaFonso Ellis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaunt. We'll go to Rob, Casey, and Seth in our Fox studios right after this.